Hey, thank you so much for being here for another episode on my YouTube channel. And I'm really excited to be here because I get to talk to somebody who is truly awesome and amazing. I love her content. And so I thought it would be really important for her to come on here and give us some really good nuggets on her subject matter of today. So let me just go into reading her bio and let's just hop right into it. What do you say? What do you say? So I am talking about the lovely Suzanne Sibilla, and hopefully I said that right.
Sibilla.
Sibilla. I wasn't looking at it, so
That's okay.
I butcher names, but that's how I get it. Okay, so let me just tell you about this fabulous woman. Okay, so Suzanne is passionate about transforming people's lives, both professionally and personally. She owns Sibilla and Associates Leadership and Employee Development Company. Suzanne has over 20 years of experience as a leader, trainer, coach, and licensed marriage, family, and drama therapist. Suzanne has coached over 200 executives and professionals in the United States, Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore with a 95% satisfaction rating. On a personal note, Suzanne is happily married for over 20 years and they have an energetic middle school age son. She loves her work and enjoys traveling, writing, theater, swimming, cycling, and the outdoors. I am so excited to dive into this topic, Suzanne. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here, April. I really am excited to be here and to be with your viewers. This is great. Thanks so much. Thanks so much
Yes,
for your
I
time.
love it. So, why don't you start with, how you got started into and then, how did you write Pivot You, like what's your background?
Yeah, sure. So I've been in as a manager, and also I started actually out as a therapist, so a marriage, family, and drama therapist, and I did that for over 10 years. And I actually got burned out with doing that. So I made a huge transition into corporate training and organizational change. And actually, I was doing that for a number of years. And I was in a position where I was a director in this corporation. And it was at that point in time that my husband and I were wanting to start a family. And I was actually in my early 40s. And I knew we were both saying this is now or never. Like, we have to do this now or we're not going to ever do it. And so I was in this position where I was moving up the ranks, if you will. And my boss was actually a VP, and she was grooming me to be in the next position, which was the VP position. And so we just had a performance review. And I still remember that I got like, a 25% bonus and this huge raise and outstanding performance review. And I was like, on cloud nine. I was like, this is so fabulous. This is where I'm headed. I'm like climbing the ranks, climbing the corporate ladder. And this is what I wanted. So I was super excited about it and everything like that. And then I remember it was like a month goes by, and I was going through IVF, to have our son, and in vitro fertilization, and to have our son. And so then I told my manager, who I thought was a good friend of mine, and I told her that I needed to come in a little bit later into work, like around 9 o'clock, because I had these appointments. And she said, oh, that was okay. And I told her, that we were starting a family. And she said that was fine. But then she said to me, well, do you know that so-and-so, who was a VP in this company, just had a daughter, and she's having a hard time balancing work and family life? And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. Like, why is she telling me this? That's just kind of strange. I didn't think anything of it after that. And so then, like 2 weeks later, she said, oh, we need to have a meeting. So we had a meeting. I go into the meeting thinking that we're going to talk about this current project. And then what she said to me is, this isn't working out. It's like, what do you mean it's not working out? She goes, this is not working out. You'll need to either quit or we're going to fire you. And I was like, oh my God, I was stunned. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Like, I had just gotten a raving performance review, and now she's saying
Yeah.
that she's going to fire me or I have to quit. So anyway, long story short, I ended up going to the corporate counsel. I wrote like this long, this email to corporate counsel and saying that, that it was actually unjust, to do that because I was planning to have a family. And anyway, they ended up rewarding me. She said that they were only going to give me a month's severance, but they ended up giving me the whole year severance.
Oh, good.
And from that point on, I made a huge pivot in my life. That's when I decided I'm going to have my own business and I'm going to focus on emerging leaders in organizations and healthcare, high-tech organizations. And that will be my focus to motivate, empower, and get results. So and that's what I've been doing for all these years.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I love that. So, I kind of have like a similar situation in a way, not really, where it was wanting to be, well, you wanted to start a family. I wanted to be closer to my family, and just the commitments from work were not allowing that to happen, which it seemed like, you didn't have that issue. They just, I don't know why they did that. That's confusing. Yeah. But I too had to make that decision, like that pivot, like, is it career or is it start my own business and live life on my own terms? So I love that. And that's what you teach now.
Yeah, that's why I find it so important. I also had another huge pivot last year. I mean, I think a lot of us have, being at 2020 and now going into 2021. Last year, I had these 2 lucrative contracts. And then also my husband was recently retired. He retired early from teaching. And also our son was doing distance learning. And he hated it the first week. He had like 26 assignments, and he was just upset every day. And so at that point in time too, I thought, okay, I need to make a huge change. And a lot of it, what I teach, people is really on the mindset. And I thought, okay, I need to work on my own mindset too, So what I did is I focused on that. And I actually ended up writing a best-selling book called Pivot You, 6 Powerful Steps to Thriving in Uncertain Times. And it really focuses on how you need to shift, your mindset, like on this whole pandemic, for example, and how you can shift your mindset when there's uncertain times. So that's what I've been focused on as of late, and really helping clients to shift their mindset as well.
That is so timely because we are definitely in uncertain times. So many things have been happening over this past year. And I want to learn more about your book. I want to learn more about these 6 steps. Would it be okay if you walk us through each one of those 6 steps in a little more detail?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So the first step is really focused on mindset matters, how important your mindset is. And I use example, my own story is when the first happened with the quarantine, I kind of felt like, oh, we're in a lockdown situation. I can't believe this is going on. And I started to feel really depressed, really. I started to feel despondent and just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. And so to shift that, I ended up shifting my mindset about it and started to see it as, okay, this is a really good time that we can be together as a family. The moment I started to shift my mindset towards that and started to see it differently, everything started to change. I mean, everything started to change. My son started to look at his classes. He actually ended up enjoying doing online learning. My husband was like starting to see, oh, there's more purpose in my life. Like I can do more. And then, like I said, and then I started getting more clients too. So a lot of it is shifting one's mindset. That's the first step. And then the second step is overcoming obstacles. So again, that's really looking at the obstacles that may be in your place or situation or circumstance and seeing how you can reframe that situation, reframe your thoughts or the reality of the situation. So again, it's like I had given those examples of, of the pandemic, for example. You can shift your mindset about it and see it in a different way. So, you can also see it like, for example, I've dealt with a lot of individuals that are going through job loss, and they could see it now. Like I have this one client where she did lose her job. And then just reframing that, she's actually seeing that now she has more time to spend with her family and to actually see that she has more purpose, like what she really wants to do, because she wasn't really interested in the job that she was doing before. Like she wasn't really passionate about it. But now that she's looking at this going, okay, gives me a lot more time to actually see what I want to do and to have more purpose in my life. So that's, again, that's the third step.
Right.
And then after that is the fourth step is really, after you reframe your reality, then it's really creating what you want out of your life and really assessing where you are in your life currently and where you want to go. So that's creating that vivid vision for yourself. And we have a whole tool that I use that assesses each area of your life. So your career, family, relationships, spirituality, health and fitness, and then also fun and recreation. A lot of times people forget that. Like they think, well, I don't have that much fun in my life. We need to have fun as well. And so then you evaluate where you are from a 0 to 10 on each of those categories, and you see where you want to grow in your life. And so you create that vivid vision for yourself. And then you set up goals for yourself as well, growth goals. And then taking massive action, because again, if you don't take action on it, then it's just a dream. But when you take massive action towards what your goals are, then you can accomplish it. So that's those are the whole steps in a nutshell, if you will.
And then, so how important do you think mindset is within all those steps? I mean, well, step one is your mindset.
Yeah. Mindset is the most important. I mean, that's where I focus a lot of the attention in, is mindset matters. And when I've coached a lot of clients previously, I mean, they could be in all different walks of life, from entrepreneurs to business leaders to working in organizations, and I come across this main problem, which is a belief system. Like they may have a belief system like, oh, I'm not good enough, like an imposter syndrome, like I'm not good enough. Or, for example, if I'm working with people that are looking for the next career, they may think that, oh, I don't have those skills to get to the next level. So it's a belief system that they may have. And that's where I think a lot of it comes from. A lot of the problems or obstacles that come into play is really the belief system. So it's really looking at what are the beliefs that you may have and how can you change those beliefs.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So someone needs to figure out how to pivot through these uncertain times. Like basically what just currently happened on the 6th of January. Like, how do you process all that? Like, what would you tell somebody?
I know. It's well, like I always say to people, we cannot control the external events, right? We can't. I mean, but we can control what goes on inside. We can control our mind. We can control our emotions. We can control our heart. So what we can control, take control over that. And we can control, a lot of times people don't think you can control your emotions. Like they'll wake up and go, well, I just feel sad, or I just don't feel like it. Like, I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like exercising today. And I always say, no, it's the action that comes before, and it's the thought that comes before. Once you have that thought of like, I'm going to work out, and then I'm going to take the action to go for a walk, then you'll start to feel better. And a lot of times people think it's the opposite. They think like, well, I just don't feel good, so I'm just not going to do it. And then it's like a vicious cycle. So then they end up not like working out or not eating healthy, so it's
how do you, is it a just do it attitude, or how does one shift from the emotion? Okay, you have a thought, it sparks an emotion, and I believe, like you said, you can choose whether you dwell in that emotion. Um, what would be your advice for someone to get out of that emotion if they don't feel like taking action and it feels like pulling, teeth and nails just to act, just to do something different to get out of that
Yeah,
emotion?
I always have people do like shift their physiology, like shift their physical way of being. So like now we're sitting, I would say, okay, now like stand up, do some physical activity that gets the
Yeah.
energy up, and then you'll actually start to feel better. I mean, I actually worked with depressed clients. This is back when I was, as a marriage family therapist, I was working with depressed clients. I was working in the rehab facility with drug and alcohol treatment. And many people would come in, clients would come in, they'll be like, you can just actually see it in their physiology and their physical being. They're like, their body would be slumped. Their eyes would be down. Like their whole physiology was like sad, depressed. And so in a lot of the therapy that I would do, we'd actually do a lot of this using this, okay, now up, and like think of I am, and then you fill in the word I am powerful, I am powerful, I am strong, I am abundant. And the moment you start saying those words, I am, those are powerful words, I am, and you put that word, a positive word, with the I am, it's amazing. You just start to change your whole physiology, your mindset starts to change, and then again the thoughts, the actions, and everything starts to change. So it all starts with the body, the physiology.
Yeah, I purchased you when you were saying depressed people, they look down. You made me think of something. I purchased this law of attraction planner, and
Uh-huh.
one of the videos in there said, try this. Like if you're feeling down, look up, like with your eyes look up. And he was just saying, I forgot what the business owner of the law of attraction planner was saying, like you cannot, like it's impossible to think of negative thoughts while you're looking up, but you can think of negative thoughts when you're looking down. When you're looking down, it's hard to think of positive thoughts, and when you're looking up, it's hard to think of negative thoughts. And then I was thinking, like, yeah, when people are down and sad and they look down, and then they just keep thinking negative thoughts. But if you look up into heaven,
Yeah,
it's
I think
harder
that's
to
so true.
do.
Right. And
And
the
you
whole
just said,
thing about,
put your chest up. You just said that. Yeah.
yeah, and then I think too, like having a smile on your face. I mean, the smile it's like it's a small movement, but it really does a lot, to your whole body. Like if you smile at someone, it's like, wow, it just cheers them up. I mean, we have in our town, I live in California, and in one of our cities here, actually the senior, he's a senior in a high school, he ended up putting smiley faces all around the city. I thought that was, what a great idea, like such a great idea.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I was at the grocery store, I was at the store the other day, and I'm driving, I'm like, oh my gosh, I see the smiley face, like everywhere in the city, there's like smiley faces everywhere. And it just lifts my spirit. And I know it for other people too. I mean, they see the smiley face like, oh wow, it's just, so
Yeah.
yeah, having a smile on your face, doing things like that, it does make an impact, and it changes your thought process.
Wow. Wow. That's perfect. So, someone wants to implement these steps, or let's say someone purchased your book, and
Hmm.
please, like quickly, like how do we get a hold of your book?
Yeah, so you can go to Sibilla Training, which is Sibilla training.com. And there's actually says book, and you could purchase my book there. And again, it's Pivot You: 6 Powerful Steps to Thriving in Uncertain Times. And I take the reader through all the different action steps in order to go from fear or anxiety or
Mm-hmm.
uncertainty to courage, strength, and abundance. And I, give them the whole
Love it.
step-by-step process. I'm also doing a mastermind group in February timeframe,
Mm.
and I invite all the viewers to attend that. And so that's going to be in February. It's a mastermind group. It's Pivot You Thriving, and so we'll go over this more intensely, And I also provide coaching. So we'll do the coaching sessions, and then they'll be on the hot seat as well. And it'll be a great group to, surround yourself with other individuals that are also wanting to have abundance in their life.
And what date is that mastermind?
So it'll be in February, early February. We still haven't
okay.
worked out the date, the
Okay.
exact date. It'll be in early February. I'm also doing an event, which is a free event coming up on January 22nd, which is a Friday, from 10 o'clock, which is Pacific time, 10 o'clock till 12. And it's with other group speakers. It's going to be a phenomenal event. So, and it's all free. And it's, so it's all about, your best life ever. So zoom into your best life ever.
Oh,
and we have a guest speaker that will talk about daily habits, your daily habits. I'll be talking about mindset, how mindset is so important. We have another individual will talk about nonverbal communication and nonverbal communication skills and how that's so important. And then another individual will be talking about leadership skills. So it'll be an amazing event. So I welcome all of you to attend again, Friday, January 22nd.
Awesome. This has been fabulous. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Is there anything, is there anything you want to leave our listeners or viewers with before we depart?
Yeah, I think, again, like I said earlier, is really mindset. That is so important. And to really focus on your internal, the internal world instead of focusing on the external world. And once you do that, everything will change.
So good. And if you want to learn more about Suzanne and follow her book, go scroll down from this video in the description below. I'm going to have all her contact information and her links so that you can follow her. And Suzanne, are you on Clubhouse at all or not?
Not yet.
Not yet. You're looking for an invite.
I know. I need to get in.
Okay.
When I hear about, are you in Clubhouse? I need to get in now, right?
Okay. All right. So, well, maybe by the time this airs, you'll be on Clubhouse and then I'll follow you.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. That
You're
was
welcome.
great. Okay. Bye.
Bye.